We got him, y'all.
How you doing? How you doing, man?
Pretty good. How about you, man?
I can't complain, man. I can't complain. I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. I cannot complain.
My bad about the. I have some system issues. I had everything. I had to.
No, you,
Everything
you
was shut
did.
down. I had to restart everything. So man,
Yeah, no, technical.
we good though.
It's always something with. It's part of the thing, man. It's part of it, man.
Oh
Like I'm so
yeah.
used to that now.
Oh
When
yeah.
I was first starting out, though, it used to really frustrate me. Like I would get really angry, man. Like like why is it the technical difficulty? Like, nah, I don't even be tripping.
Yeah,
I
because
already
at
know
first
it's part
I
of
was really tripping. I'm like, man, I gave him a time frame. Made a flyer with the time frame. People waiting. Nigga, but like,
it.
you know. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely,
definitely feel that.
absolutely.
So
No, I mean, yeah, exactly. And
yeah,
I respect what you got going on, man. It's dope, bro. I've been watching you for a while now,
really
so this is
appreciate it,
long.
man.
Different interviewers have their different, topics that but on your podcast, you talk about everything. You talk about it all. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
And I'm not just
I
trying to
may
do
as well.
music. I'm trying to break into small businesses, uh,
Come
as
on.
far especially if artists come up with other, is
Hmm.
going to morph and do other things. 'Cause I think artists in music can do other things. You know what I mean? So, and they don't get to shine
Absolutely.
because people start thinking, "Oh, you talking about I go by the kid? He just a rapper. That's all he do." I'm like, "Nah, he can do other things, bruh."
Absolutely.
So, and there's
Yeah.
nobody really shining the fact that you can do other things or I can do other things. So I thought this is the perfect
Hmm.
podcast for artists who either still doing artwork or music,
Hmm.
start doing music, and can move into other things. Like he said, he wanted to go ahead and do podcasting, or what he wants to do artwork, or what he wants to do, whatever he wants to do. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
think this is good because sometimes people know you for one thing and not realize what you do in
Hmm.
other things. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, and I love that, bro, because it encourages, just for myself, like it encourages me to continue to do what I'm doing. You know what I
right.
mean? Like and it kind of confirms what I already know in a sense. It's
Yeah.
like I know what I'm capable of, but then it's like, when you start to do it, um, you start getting, different responses from different people, and it's just be like sometimes you just be like, should I be doing this? Like, let me talk to somebody about it. Because I don't have a counselor or anything, what I'm saying? I don't have a therapist. I don't have, what I'm saying? So when I reach those moments and I'm kind of like, wrestling with the idea, it's like, I need some support on this, what I'm saying? Or I need
Yeah.
to have a conversation outside of my own head about this, you know what I
Right.
mean? And this is dope. This is
Appreciate it,
dope.
man. Appreciate it, man. Getting to the point,
So,
I like putting people on, and and be a part of their process as they're ascending. There's some people I know
mhm.
who was in the shows that I had, who's right now, I couldn't believe that they were there, a long time ago, and see where they are now. It's like,
Mhm.
damn. I
It's
mean, I'm not
crazy.
saying that they're, like Will Smith kind of famous, but they moved up, but they started out
Yeah.
where we were. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love to see the growth.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
You know what I mean? If I can
and
be any part of your growth, that makes me feel
mhm.
good.
Yeah,
You know what I
right
mean?
on, bro,
That's
for
the man.
sure. Yeah.
That's the reason why I do this, is because not only do I see people outside or online are doing good. If I can get any way to either help or pushing me
Mhm.
further, I feel like I'm a part
Mhm.
of that growth. You know what I mean?
Vice versa. Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head, bro.
Well, the
Like
first thing I
that's
want to talk
exactly.
about with you is because I'm having the system issues with audio, because I want to get into the music, but we have to get into that
Mhm.
later. Because I'm
Mhm.
trying not having issues with the music. That's why you see my head turning like this. I'm trying to get the music
Yeah.
part going, but everything else
Yeah.
is going good. So let's go ahead and start into this
It's all
book,
good. Yeah.
this graphic
Let's talk
novel you
about
got
this.
going. How did this start,
Yeah,
man?
let's talk about it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So years back, my grandmother took me to go see this play,
Uh huh.
and it was called The Message of Easter. And it was about the life of Jesus Christ. And it it stuck with me a lot when she passed away, because when she passed away,
Uh huh.
that was like my best friend. I would always write letters to her in cursive,
Yeah.
which is why this book is all in cursive. Um, and when I was going through that process of just healing, I was doing security, and I had a lot of time on my hands. Like, I would sit at the front of the bank pretty much, and just, they were so cool with me. They just gave me time to just draw, and of course I would do my rounds and stuff. But
Yeah.
um, what happened was I started drawing pictures of Jesus, and not even thinking like that it would turn into this. It was just like crucifixion pictures, and just listening to gospel music. That was the only thing that was getting me through how I was feeling. You know what I mean? And when I remember when she passed away, like how the clouds looked, and I remember just how hard it rained, and then I got a real sense of like spirit, and just like for the first time, like as an adult though, just like, okay, this is what the spirit feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody gone and you can't see them in the physical no more, they live inside of you. And so I really understood that then. You know what I'm saying? It really dawned on me. So I was like, okay, I get it. And long story short, I was doing music at the time. I was still on my record label, Snatch and Guap. I was still doing things with them. But long story short, I went through some things, and life changes, and I say about 6 years later, I ended up getting married, and my principles changed, you know what I'm saying? And I was just more so like, I want to get married to do the right thing for once, you know what I'm saying, in God's eyes, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I just tried to stick with doing the right thing, just as far as that goes, and getting a better relationship with God. And as I was doing that, I asked him, like, like, what do you want me to do, like, with my gifts and stuff that you gave me? You know what I'm saying? Just on some, I had a real come to Jesus meeting. And he just told me, like, first thing you need to do, close your eyes. You know what I'm saying? And I closed my eyes, and he showed me like my whole life. I never really put him first like that. You know what I'm saying? And he was just telling me, like, I'm his most precious creation, you know what I'm saying, as a human, as a person.
Yeah.
And I was listening to him talk to me, and I was like, okay. He said, that's the first understanding you got to get out the way, because you kind of playing yourself by not tapping into what I've actually caused you to do. So you got to value yourself first. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing I did. I got a real sense of just who he was, and so I could hear him more. You know what I'm saying? Because I really want to know, what do you want me to do? You know what I mean? And he told me, like, okay, so I closed my eyes, got a sense of who he was, and he showed me the way movie. And it was nothing like this. This is the graphic novel before we get to that stage. But when he showed it to me, he told me, I want you to create this. I want you to create a Black Jesus movie, but I want you to do it strictly based off of the scripture. I don't want you to try to make it your own. I don't want you to try to change anything. Just keep it me.
Right.
Just do me. And I said, okay. And we ended up going out, getting some pay 3 years ago. I'm kid you not, 3 years ago, we went out, me and my wife. I told her what happened, and we grabbed some paper, and I went on ahead and spent like 9 months pressing up these books. And 3 years later, now we're on book 2, which is on the way. It's like, it's amazing just how now it's 60 pages as opposed to before it was just 30 pages. Now we got a whole nother book.
And that's all together, or just one different books?
It's gonna be all together.
Okay.
And
it sounds like you just building and building.
Mm-hmm. And what I realized was, okay, with this project, the just the graphic novel alone, mind you, man, I've been rapping for years.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of numbers, but I get it. let me tell you, bro, when I started doing this though,
Uh-huh.
my numbers skyrocketed like so quickly that it was like, okay, everything you was looking for as far as the rap goes, you can do that with me too, as far as Jesus goes.
Yeah.
And so I said, what do you mean? And then he started giving me songs.
Okay.
And I'm like, so you got bars too?
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I went on Thizzler because they was doing some lives and stuff. I went on Thizzler, and I listened to the raps that was being, they let everybody rap. They tag you in or whatever. Everybody can rap battle. Everybody can share their songs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was listening, bro. It's people from all over the different states, bro, like all over the place. And I tapped in with Thizzler. I got stuff on Thizzler. And I get it. Back then I was, what I'm saying, I was high headed too. I get it. But bro, everybody was talking about killing each other.
Yeah.
That's all people was talking about. And so when they tagged me in, I came in there with some bars that me and God wrote.
Yeah.
And I got highlighted. And so that was another sign to me that it was like, okay, bro, something's happening here.
Yeah.
Now, I've always been a fan of movies. I've always been a movie head.
Uh-huh.
I wrote my scripts. This is my first script for my next video, Forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
And it came out pretty good. And, I sent it to the videographer. We getting it all going. And when I came across everything that it was going to take to turn the graphic novel into a movie,
Uh-huh.
all of the pre-production stuff, script writing, character development, all of these things, I'm already gamed up in that because I just graduated from the LA Film School
Nice.
with a degree that taught me pretty much, I would say 80% of what it takes to create a film, which is why the graphic novel looks the way it does. I'm a visionary, you know what I'm saying? I'm a visual person.
Yeah.
Okay, now what do I have to do? Okay, next thing you need to do is, let me show you this real quick. Now, most people, when they see this, they get intimidated. Not me. It feels so natural. It's crazy. Okay. This is just a quick checklist. This is things like writing a treatment, locking in a script breakdown, budget breakdown, find funding, hire key crew, character profiles, cast your talent, talent release forms, hire a crew, create a storyboard. We almost done with that, right? We on book 3. And so you see all of these things, it's like, okay, why hasn't this project ever been done before? Because no one's taken it seriously until now.
Yes.
This is a DVD cover.
Oh man, wait. Before we get to that, I gotta know this because this is in my head right now. And I'm pretty sure the people wanted to know this too. Let's go circle back just a little bit about when you were doing security and you start to, and of course, am I right or am I wrong to say your grandmother has passed?
Yeah, you was right. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
So, walk us through the time where, at first, I remember you said, you weren't really, God was listening, but you weren't really listening. Walk us through what made you start wanting to listen to God when He started speaking. When did He start speaking to you, and at what time did He start really speaking to you to make you go on this journey?
Honestly, God spoke to me like even before that. The first time I really heard God, bro, I was in my room once. It was when I was going to the military before my grandmother passed away.
Yeah,
and I was in a space of either, hey man, you're gonna go to the military or you're gonna be homeless or you're gonna be. I was just making some bad choices, and my dad gave me a come to Jesus meeting, and he was like, bro, it's the end of the road as far as me helping you out. You know what I'm saying? I love you and all, but you gotta grow up. So I was like 20 at the time, 19, something like that.
yeah.
And I went in my room and I had this black Jesus picture and I just stared at it. and I just asked him like, what decision should I make?
Yeah.
And I kid you not, bro, the voice of God was like, go, why don't you go to church? He didn't even tell me. He just said, why don't you go to church?
Man,
and that told me.
That, I'm sorry to cut you off. It's amazing that some people get the chance to actually hear the voice in their head and make a move on it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just kind of ignore it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They don't really listen. So
Mm-hmm.
the fact that you were able to listen and hear it and put it into action
Mm-hmm.
is rare because not many people can do it.
Man, bro, and the voice is so big, but it comes from within, so it's small. But because of who it is, you know it's not your voice. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that was the only time I've ever heard it that loud. And so I ended up going to church, and I got all the support I needed, moral support, and I ended up, going to the military. Then, you know what I mean? But since then, like I've always just had a bit more of a just like, okay, I know you here, I know you with me. You know what I'm saying? And when my grandmother passed, he didn't speak with words. It was more so just showing me what spirit was and how to embrace the fact that I'm not going to be able to have her physically anymore.
Yeah.
It was more so just like seeing the clouds and understanding like God's mourning with me too. You know what I'm saying? When he brings his children home, he knows how that affects us too. And he feels us and he knows everything that we're going through too. It was just more so just like, I feel you, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to, there was really nothing to talk about, you know what I'm saying? And he understood that, you know what I mean? And he just made his presence more known, you know what I mean? And gave me a little bit more of just an understanding. It wasn't comfort at the time because she had just passed, so I was still messed up.
Oh, man.
When I started drawing, I started when I came back to California, we had to fly to North Carolina for a funeral. Okay. When I came back to California, at that desk though, when I put those headphones on, I was listening to songs like gospel spirituals, bro. Like, and that was the only thing that was making me feel better. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was soothing. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, I knew that that's what I needed. You know what I'm saying?
When did you start learning to draw, man?
Man, I was 2 years old, man. My housekeeper Raquel, man. Yeah, it started real young, man. Like, art was just my thing. That's like how naturally you just do what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just naturally what my thing was just drawing.
I never knew that. When I first heard about you, it was within the music, you know what I mean? And then I started seeing that, okay, he got some more to him. He got this artwork going to do with little art pieces. And now you're putting together a book, a graphic novel. And let's go into the more of the current now. Let's get into, you said it's a DVD, so this is becoming a movie?
Yeah, that's what I want to talk to you about, bro. Yes.
So you're turning this is becoming artwork, just drawing. Now you're having a focus because you found. I want to say you really found God, or God found you, or something. I don't know how you would say that, but you know what I mean. But you guys started to
found each other
within your artwork, and he kind of wanted to tell a story through you. Is that correct?
Exactly. We found each other. Like,
there you go.
And he sent me different prayer angels, like through music, to kind of walk me through this new walk that I'm on. And it's just more confirmation that the world is ready to receive a movie like this. You know what I'm saying? And the best part about it is the support group that I have, like around it. Like it's a collectible, you know what I'm saying? Like we talk about these things and we try to figure out, okay, how can we tell it accurately?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of those stories that I also support this show called The Chosen. That I really love the way they put that story together. So I make sure that I take notes where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? So we go about it the correct way. We recently just saw this other movie that we're gonna end up doing a small review on soon. The Book of Clarence, you know what I'm saying?
I
And
can't wait to see it.
just
I cannot wait to see it. I've been wanting to see that all week. Don't
go
tell me.
see
Don't
it,
don't
bro.
tell me. Just let me know if it's good or bad, but don't tell me the movie because I really want to see it.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's both. It's both.
Oh
It's
man.
both. It's both. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
Yeah, I
I'm
want
not
to
gonna
see it.
spoil it for you. I'm not gonna spoil it.
Okay. So
And I
how did let me I'm sorry me to cut you off here. Um
now you good, brother.
um from the time you made it from a graphic novel, there was a time where you probably thought about making a movie. Uh
Mm.
did someone give you the idea you should make this a movie, or you always thought, you know what, since I got this book down, I want to make this a movie. I want to make these steps to make a movie. What was that process?
Well, that process was when I closed my eyes and I talked to the Holy Spirit and I asked him, what do you want me to do with the rest of my life? As far as music, as far as a career, as far as being a parent, being able to provide, what do you want me to work on to be a productive citizen in society? What does Carlos Barnaby need to do?
Right.
And when I closed my eyes, the Holy Spirit showed me the way movie. And now it's my job to make it happen.
Ooh, okay.
That'll
Okay.
keep me busy until I'm in my. I'm gonna be busy. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this:
And
is this going to be like an animated movie, or are you going to be eventually want to turn into real life with people?
no, animated 3D. Real
Nice,
people will, of course, be, you know what I'm saying, for voices and things like that.
nice.
And it will look as realistic as, what do you call it, DreamWorks, Pixar, Disney, when they do their 3D animated movies.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for.
Okay. So if anybody out there who hears this on YouTube or even on Instagram or wherever we are, wherever you hear it, if you're looking for
Mhm.
somebody who just has a good story, you know what I mean. You basically are an animator, and or you want to work with somebody who you know who you feel like you can take them to the next level. Hit him up,
Mhm.
Carlos Barnaby. Where can they go ahead and find you at, man? If that
You can
person
go
wants to work with you and make it happen faster for you.
you can go to thewaygraphicnovel.com and all of my social links are there. You can inbox me on any one of my platforms. You can also go to igobythekid.com
Yeah,
and the same thing on that. You can go and there's a platform for all of my socials. You can DM me on any one of those and we can talk. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about it.
yeah,
That's
that's
the best
dope.
way to hit me. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? And
now you
that's the
drew
best way.
this work. Now, of course, you had to. Do you when you drew it? Did you do yourself as far as putting it up online? Your drawings, as far as you had to animate it yourself, or you have somebody do it? You know, from I'm pretty sure, like you say, you drew it out on paper. From the point where you drew it out from paper to putting it out like whatever you use to
Mm-hmm.
do artwork on computer, was that you or someone helped you with that?
Man, bro, that's all me. That was all me.
There you go.
Um,
Okay.
I I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like this ability to draw, that's one of my niches. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been a graphic designer out here. I love Sacramento too because I really had a lot of support on that out
Yeah.
here with my artwork, man. So I've literally made a killing off of just art. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what I'm talking
um,
about.
that ability has always served me.
Yeah.
And so this project is basically my thank you to who the talent comes from. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
I love it. Well, let me ask you this too, because I've been wondering this.
thank you.
I had a conversation with
Mhm.
my wife's godmother. She is a photographer, right? And she uses
Mhm.
Photoshop and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I guess we had a conversation because there's a new update, or maybe just new to me for knowing for
Mhm.
Photoshop. Now they have a update where you can use AI. You know what I mean, to
Mhm.
help you draw things basically through your voice or by typing it in instead of using handwork and handwork type of thing. Now the
See,
conversation
that's
started when she
crazy.
felt like, I want to know your opinion on this. What she felt like is that she didn't like it at first because
Mhm.
the AI was doing all the work, and the person who's doing the handwork is not really the one who's doing the artwork. You know what I mean? So she
Mhm.
said she doesn't like the AI because it takes the drawer out of the out of the equation. So it basically, it makes anybody who's
Mhm.
mediocre compared to you look like
Mhm.
they got your skill with AI. That's
Mhm.
how she felt like, somebody who's just starting to look at your level. And then I was like, well, that's a good point, but this is the way I see it. I know because I use some of the AI for you have to vocalize it or type it in a certain way to get certain kind of detail. So if
Yeah.
I have a certain kind of knowledge about art, I may say something like, I want a red house on top of a mountain, right? On a sunny day. But because you have a better sign of detail of art, you can say, I want a red house on a mountain, sunny day. The sunshine's gonna, come down on the house. I need tulips in a walkway. You know what I mean? In a glare from the
Mhm.
window to come down and be visible. You know what I mean? Because you have a better
Details,
vision,
right?
and your
Mhm.
vision, because you're an artist,
Mhm.
is gonna be better than mine. Because I just said a house on the mountain. In the first.
See, it works. Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right.
so it takes skill
Mhm.
to vocalize.
Mhm.
If you can vocalize what you have as far as in your hands,
Mhm.
yours is going to be way better than mine because you can
Yeah.
vocalize your thoughts. I said, so that does take skill to use AI. Because I'm just saying, give me a house on a mountain. It's going to be dope. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I can't vocalize as good as you. So I was telling her, I was like, you should still give AI a chance because the people who have the skill, all you have to do is just whatever you're drawing. If you can type it in, what you gonna do? The person with more, you can give more detail, is going to be the better artist. You agree?
I was playing around with a couple of AI apps.
Yeah,
I went ahead and just when I was trying to do it was like a live I would just draw live,
yeah.
and I wanted people to tune in at a certain time. I would go on this little AI app and it would animate it real quick and say, okay, I'm gonna be live at 10 o'clock tonight, or I'm gonna be live at 5 o'clock tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it works for that. You know what I'm saying? And it's something cool to look at. I agree. I think there's nothing really wrong with it, man.
Yeah,
Things.
I think, like I said, I think the people who are artistic, people are like you compared to me, yours will come out better because you have a better vision of detail than I would. I'm making this bland old house, but you can type in way more detail, which make your stuff look
Hmm.
like Van Gogh, and mine look like kindergarten.
Exactly, and it has its purposes too. Like I said, man, it just depends on what you're using it for. Now, if you're going out there like on some like, oh yeah, and taking all the credit for it, like you designed it, then it's like that's whack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like just say you use AI. You know what I'm saying? It's all
exactly,
good.
exactly. I think,
Um,
like I said, it does kind of. I agree with her. It turns people who were newbies into pretty damn good, but at least people who are skilled, it'll turn them excellent. Like it will turn somebody who looked like something off of the.
exactly.
You know what I'm trying to say? So I think it. I mean, I do see the bad in it, but I see the good in the possibility for the people. All they have to do is just as good as they draw. If they can type
Mhm.
in detail, the person who gives the best
Yeah.
detail is going to look better, and no one's kind of better in detail than an artist.
It's about detail, right? It's and just being able to articulate yourself succinctly, and all that means is clearly. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like just clearly as possible. You know what I mean? And that's what I've learned about the universe, bro. Like for real. Like the universe, really, man. As long as you taking your stuff seriously and you handling your business,
yeah,
the world is your playground. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I've been seeing. That's all I've been seeing, bro. That's why I'm like, okay, so. Um, with AI and all of these different ways that you can make art now, there's no reason not to utilize it. That just makes your job easier as far as don't
yeah.
work
Because if we may be
work
waiting for
hard.
a painting from you by hand, we gotta wait 6 months. But then
Hmm.
with AI, you can get that done in 30 minutes. So you know it means that we can give you more time for your next project instead of we have to wait,
Exactly.
and holding you back from all. You probably have all these plans, You know what I mean? You
Exactly.
can't even get to it, because it takes time to draw that stuff. But with AI,
Hmm.
you can kind of like type in what you've drawn, make sure this, to this, to
Yeah.
this, and boom, project's out in 30 minutes. Now you're stacking a catalog.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
A
Well, another thing I
lot of
wanted to
work.
talk, I want to circle back to you is you said you had a
Mhm.
DVD cover. How did this come about?
Yeah. Yeah. So this cover also, I'm gonna say something too about the time it takes to make a project.
Uh
It's about a 15 year. It's about a 15-year stretch.
huh. Ooh.
It takes about 15 years, and we're on year three. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at it, at the end of everything, it's only you're cramming 15 years, and it's only the thing only gonna last for 2 hours.
Uh huh.
You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting how time is, and this is the cover. I designed this myself. It's a mock-up cover, and I use this to remind myself that the universe only gonna open up to what I demanded to do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It is it's having something physically in front of me, so then that way I can stay focused on what the task at hand is.
Yeah.
The same way I came up with this. You know what I'm saying? My album. You know what I mean? It's all of these things that start in your mind, and then like I said, when I first started music years ago, I never would have thought that I'd have the experiences that I have had. You know what
Man.
I'm saying? It's like when you look at, okay, it all started out as a thought. And that's the same approach I'm taking with this. I realized that movies are something that I've been consuming for years.
Yeah.
I've
We
been,
all
so
have.
it's already inside of me. Like movies is that's another one of my niches I'm starting to understand. It's like, bro, I've been consuming this for so many years that now that I'm ready to regurgitate my movie, it's like
Hmm.
I'm born for it in a sense. It's like, bro, you unconscious, self-consciously, you don't even realize, bro, you are a director. You directed your album, you directed your music videos that you've been in, you directed this, you directed that. And I'm just seeing the similarities. Like when making a movie, it's similar to writing songs.
Mm.
To make a perfect song, what do? You start out with the beginning, you have
Hmm.
the middle, and you do, right? Movies are the same thing. It's the beginning, the middle, and then usually a good movie has a twist at the end, right?
Right.
All of these different things that you wouldn't understand unless you actually started to do it and not be intimidated by all the work that's in front of you. It's
Yeah.
like, no, bro, you are meant to do this. You have the patience. That's one of your niches. You have the art for it. That's another one of your niches. You have the patience for it. Another one of your niches. You were born for it. And so as I started to just take that into action, I was like, okay, so what are we going to need? We're going to need a script. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's start writing. You know what I'm saying? Just and it makes it easier now to write the script because it's already in comic book form.
Yeah.
So I
So
don't
is
have to
that
get.
is that your? I'm sorry to cut you off. Is that your plan? Is once you get to the point where you get the animated story done, the DVDs out, people get to see it, and once you get to that level, do you feel that the next move is I want to see if I can make this into a movie? Do you think that's in the future? And once you get to the point where you've made it animated, or you're like, no, my goal is just to make it animated because I like doing it that way, and that's the route I want to go.
Yeah, that's the next venture. Television is another venture. Stretching out all of these characters and making sure that it has a longevity that lasts for generations. It's not a movie is just one. It's one aspect of it,
Right.
and then there's that's another aspect of it, and then there's the live animation of it. That's another. It doesn't stop. It just keeps going. There's
Ah,
no
so doing movies, once you get to the point where you've got the animated story out and it's on television, you wouldn't be
right.
against making it a movie with real people.
Absolutely not. No. Mm-mm. Absolutely not.
But yeah, so I really wanted to stay on, you know, this story of you doing this book right now because one, because I think that's what people need to really understand is the book. You know, what I mean, the graphic novel. Is it available at this time? Sorry, we couldn't hear you. Okay. Well, please, definitely, when that thing is ready, holla at me. We need to have another episode on that when it's out. I definitely want that to happen. Um, Another thing I want to keep, I want to stay on this story about this book is because it's interesting to see you go from the music I was hearing you do to this, and you actually, you are really, what's the word I'm looking for? You're driven by it, and you actually, because some people will come with these ideas, but they won't take action on it. That's just one of the hardest things for artists to do is to take action. You be thinking the hardest thing to do is to do the work. No, it's taking action to take it to the next level. It's tough. So I'm loving the fact that you're showing this and let people know that, hey,
Thank you.
this is the way I'm going. Contact me if you want to be a part of this. If I get to keep sharing with people, we're gonna share this thing like a mug on YouTube and all like that. And like I said,
Thank you, bro.
if I could be in any piece of the elevation, I feel good.
This is dope.
Shoot,
that's what's up. That's what's up, and that's what it's about, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, bro. Likewise, man. Likewise.
So
I love that, bro. I love that. But I was gonna go ahead. My bad, bro. I mean to cut you off.
I want to hear what you had to say because when we first say this first, I want to make this whole episode because this is part 1 episode that we doing that I'm doing with you. I really did a part 1 and 2 of an interview with anybody, but this is the first episode interview we're gonna do a part 2. But this right now, I want to focus more on the graphic novel. Right now, another reason why is because I'm having music situation issues, so I can't play any music because I want to get into that.
Yeah,
but we're gonna get if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's good, bro. That's what's up. Let's do that. It's good because I'll have some music recorded by then too. So that's dope.
This is gonna be part 1 of a Carlos Barnaby interview. Okay, so what was you gonna say, man? I want to hear what you had to say.
Well, the music thing, man, is funny, bro, because when it comes to writing, I try to make sure that I outdo my last song in a sense. Like I want to make sure that I'm getting better each song.
Yeah.
And so when I came up with this song called Goliath, I said, okay, now I know there's something. Now I know that God really created us to be creative, and our gifts are supposed to worship Him. This is what confirmed that for me.
Yeah.
Was when I wrote this song, I said, yo, I know the highest, and He told me throw a stone at Goliath. So I picked some rocks up, not just any old sizes. Plus, he been talking a lot this whole time, but will I miss? Nah. What I hid in a slingshot gonna make him wish that we switch spots. It is what it is. I don't care if he big with as big as he is. He still gonna get dropped. It's whatever. This crowd pumped his head up. Well, fill your gas up as much as you wanna let him in. I got protective skin cause I know who my strengths within. Set to win and hit you so hard that your helmet spins. What kind of armor do he got on? Must be extra thin. Whoever thought that it was over for me, guess again. 2020 with the vision. This is a special lens. I truly hope he made his peace before he met his end.
Yeah.
so when he so when that came out of me, bruh.
Yeah.
For one, I knew I knew that I had nothing written on that page. Like I was literally like, I get the fact that I'm working on this movie, this graphic novel. I get all of that. But can you help me with the songs too? Like I asked, you know what I'm saying? I just asked him like, he like, bro, I got so many songs for you. It ain't even funny. But you gotta listen. You know what I'm saying? You gotta listen. And I went live with the gospel Christian rap artist Kid Lee, man. And I shared some stuff with her too. You know what I'm saying? And her people encouraged me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that's really the Holy Spirit, and you gotta let Him drive you. You gotta let Him lead you. Don't run from Him. It's all good. You know what I mean? And that's what made me write the second verse. You know what I'm saying? And the second verse is way doper than that. You know what I mean? And it was like, oh, okay. Now I got a confidence about me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like, okay, now I get what this is, and now I'm working it, and we working together, and it ain't left me yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, with every step for this movie, he right there. He like, yep, didn't I tell you that was gonna work? Didn't I tell you that was gonna work? Didn't I tell you that was gonna work? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yep. So let me just continue to put my best foot forward, man. Like I said, bro, like every day I just be on it, on
I
it,
tell you, man,
on it.
faith is a strong motivator. Some people have a hard time finding the motivation to do things. And because one of the questions I was going to ask you, how do you
Mhm,
handle writer's block? Because I know you go through it, whether it's in music
mhm,
or making artwork.
mhm,
And it sounds like
mhm.
to me, I don't want to answer for you. You go ahead, clear it up if I get this wrong. It sounds like to me,
Yeah.
when you do have that writer's block to the point where
Mhm,
you don't know what to do next, you listen to the
mhm,
Lord and He assists you through it. Am I wrong?
mhm. That's exactly what it is.
Huh.
That's exactly that's exactly the best way to put it. That's the best way to put it. You just when you have writer's block, bro, like writer's block is a lie. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. All right, the lie in writer's block, bro, is that you're telling yourself that you can't think of something.
Ooh,
The second that you start telling yourself you can think of something, writer's block is gonna go away.
man.
It's what you tell yourself. Maybe right now is not a good time for you to be writing.
Huh. That's a good
You see what I'm
point.
saying? Like, it's not that you can't think of anything. It's just your time, and maybe there's other elements. Maybe the kids are up. Maybe there's something else going on that's making you put this negative thought into your head. You know
Or
what I'm
my
saying?
wife
Call them
keep asking
intrusive
me to take the
thoughts.
trash out when I'm writing. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, for real. For real, bro. Simple things, bro. Like wash the dishes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you go back and forth with yourself, like, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but then you have to, you know what I'm saying? You got to talk to yourself a little bit and tell yourself, okay, I can do this. I can do it. I just don't feel like it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that is it's the same thing for writer's block, bro. What I learned how to do was if I really can't think of nothing, what I used to do was I would start with small words like, okay, so what is this song about? I would write down one word that it's about. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Then from there, pull from life experiences that I know that relate to that what I just wrote. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to rhyme at this point. I just want to get my pen moving. It's kind of like scribbling. Like for drawers and artists, we like to doodle. We doodle a lot because that keeps our fluids going. Like as far as our creativity, it's like it ain't got to be the best picture in the world starting out, but just scribble something
Yeah. Just get something down.
without even thinking
Feel
about it.
that, man.
See where it goes. And
So
something,
I know,
as you
man.
keep putting more words, it'll start to form. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It'll start forming.
What you got moving next, other than um, getting this graphic novel together? It's coming out in a couple weeks, y'all. You don't know the date yet?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go ahead and just put this date out there.
Go ahead.
January 31st. I'm gonna just say the 31st, 30th or the 31st. One of them two. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like, because they on top of it, man. And they doing a really good job, man. Like
That's
Morris
good.
Publishing, they're so
So
cool, bro.
for those
They
people out
walk with me.
there
They talk with me.
who support Carlos Barnaby and his work, you know what I mean? At least I would say give him to the 5th of February. You know what I mean?
At least, yeah. If push come to shove,
Push
yeah.
come to shove, 5th
If
of
push,
February. You start to see something.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So
That's right. That's right. That's right. Technical difficulties, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. You know what I mean? So I
It's all good.
I'm going through something now, but
Yeah,
anyways,
it's all good.
what made you want to call the graphic novel to the animated movie called The Way? What made you want to call it that?
Well, the first thing was when I was mourning, when I was in the spirit of like I lost my grandmother, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Um, there was a scene with Doubting Peter, not Doubting Peter, Doubting Thomas, and Jesus had just been crucified, and he was gone for 3 days. And there's this movie called Son of God, and the way they illustrated this, it really spoke to my spirit because everyone was worried. Like they was like, you know, are the Romans going to come after us now? They was in a really shocked state. You know what I mean? Like Jesus had just died. You know what I'm saying? Seeing that is got to be terrifying. And
Yeah.
everyone was in this room. All the disciples were in this room, and Thomas wasn't there at the time. And Jesus ended up revealing himself to all of the disciples as he was resurrected.
Yeah.
And Thomas was the only one who didn't see it. So when Thomas finally got into the room and everyone was telling him like, hey bro, Jesus just rose, man. He just rose from the dead. And he came to us, he broke bread with us, he talked to us. And for some reason, Thomas, even though he knows Jesus, like he knows him. He knows him better than any, you know what I mean? And he still doubted.
Yeah.
He still doubted. He was like, you know what? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And Jesus was like, okay, since you don't believe, he ended up showing himself, right? To Thomas. And he said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. Right? This is what he said to him. And what stuck with me about that was when he said the way, I said, okay. I remember when I was in this place of trying to rap and stuff, and I didn't have a pad. I was just, just writing rap, scribbling rap. It wasn't that I wasn't talented. It was the way I was going about it that was bringing me the issues I was having.
Yeah.
So once I figured out the right way to go about it, then my videos became better. Then I started getting radio interviews. Then I started featuring and doing collab because I figured out the way to do it. So I said, okay.
That makes sense.
With this movie, the way I present it from now on, it's going to start getting better and better. You know what I'm saying? It's not that there's a problem with what I'm doing. If people don't like it, if people aren't woo-woo, it may just be the way that it's being presented. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so keep on working on the way that we put this movie together. It has to be, it's the way that I'm drawing these characters. It's the way I go about it. So that's what, because the way just stands for so many things, you know what I'm saying? And it really put that, made me mature in that. Like, okay, it's the way you're going about it.
This is,
you know what I mean? Like,
this is dope. Well,
thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah.
I want to do the second part of music and to more about music and to get more into it. But right now, this is the part one. For everybody who's out there who's listening, this is Carlos Barnaby. Please follow him on Instagram. Are you also on TikTok?
No, I don't have TikTok. Nah, I have Instagram, Facebook. Those are my main ones.
Okay,
yeah, those are
Instagram
my main.
And Facebook. Follow him and like and subscribe if he's on YouTube. And if you're out there and you're just checking this out, you know what I mean, and you haven't followed Support Your Boy Podcast, follow us on YouTube too. You know what I mean. Check out the artwork. Remember, before February 5th, you can get the graphic novel to support Carlos Barnaby and get the way, because it's gonna be dope. Is heaven.
Thank you.
So, man, I want to thank you for coming to the show, man. And this is just part one.
Thank you.
We're gonna get part two real soon. Y'all check out for part two coming out about the Carlos Barnaby interview, man. I want to thank you for showing up, man. You have a great night, bro.
DJ Lionheads, you too, bro.
Hey,
I appreciate it,
man. Support Your Boy Podcast. Y'all have a great one, man. Good night.